sometimes even to live as an act of courage. True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he is not. All cruelty springs from weakness. Non est ad astra malii terras via, there is no easy way from the earth to the stars. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. As is a tale, so is life, not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms, you'll be able to use them better when you're older. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. It is not that we have so little time but that we lose so much. The life we receive is not short but we make it so. We are not ill provided but use what we have wastefully. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place but to be a different person. Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. We've been using them not because we needed them but because we had them. He who is brave is free. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. They lose the day in expectation of the night, and the night in fear of the dawn. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. I shall never be ashamed of citing a bad author if the line is good. Putting things off is the biggest waste of life. It snatches away each day as it comes, and denies us the present by promising the future. The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow, and loses today. If you live in harmony with nature you will never be poor. If you live according what others think, you will never be rich. Time and the cause est nescire - ignorance is the cause of fear. Only time can heal what reason cannot. No man was ever wise by chance. Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. The sun also shines on the wicked. Life is long if you know how to use it. We learn not in the school, but in life. While we wait for life, life passes. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. There is no genius without a touch of madness. Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as not to injure future ones. Life is like a play, it's not the length, but the excellence of the acting. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Leisure without books is death, and burial of a man alive. Often a very old man has no other proof of his long life than his age. A sword never kills anybody, it is a tool in the killer's hand. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. A gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver or doer. It is not the man who has too little that is poor, but the one who hankers after more. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. I am not born for one corner, the whole world is my native land. Errare humanum est, sed perseverare diabolicum, to err is human, but to persist in the mistake is diabolical. But life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. Withdraw into yourself, as far as you can. Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. The process is mutual, for men learn while they teach. We should every night call ourselves to an account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired? Our vices will abort of themselves if they be brought every day to the shrift. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. Were all the geniuses of history to focus on this single theme, they could never fully express their bafflement at the darkness of the human mind. No person would give up even an inch of their estate, and the slightest dispute with a neighbor can mean hell to pay, yet we easily let others encroach on our lives. Worse, we often pave the way for those who will take it over. No person hands out their money to passers-by, but to how many do each of us hand out our lives? We're tight-fisted with property and money, yet think too little of wasting time, the one thing about which we should all be the toughest misers. Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. Beyond all things is the sea. The best ideas are common property. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. He who spares the wicked injures the good. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. It does not matter how many books you have, but how good the books are which you have. Regard a friend as loyal, and you will make him loyal. It is difficult to bring people to goodness with lessons, but it is easy to do so by example. It's not because things are difficult that we dare not venture. It's because we dare not venture that they are difficult. You should live in such a way that there is nothing which you could not as easily tell your enemy as keep to yourself. Nothing is burdensome if taken lightly, and nothing need arouse one's irritation so long as one doesn't make it bigger than it is by getting irritated. He who has injured thee was either stronger or weaker than thee. If weaker, spare him; if stronger, spare thyself. What man can you show me who places any value on his time, who reckons the worth of each day, who understands that he is dying daily? For we are mistaken when we look forward to death. The major portion of death has already passed. Whatever years be behind us are in death's hands. The part of life we really live is small. For all the rest of existence is not life, but merely time. Of this one thing make sure against your dying day, that your faults die before you do. What progress, you ask, have I made? I have begun to be a friend to myself. No man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity. To be always fortunate, and to pass through life with a soul that has never known sorrow, is to be ignorant of one half of nature. You live as if you were destined to live forever. No thought of your frailty ever enters your head. Of how much time has already gone by you take no heed. You squander time as if you drew from a full and abundant supply, though all the while that day which you bestow on some person or thing is perhaps your last.